Hello, everyone. So I would just like to start off to address what the advocate said. He's trying to make the point that the minimum wage is supposed to be lived off of, but as he stated himself, the original intent of minimum wage was made to get us out of the Great Depression. It's never meant to be lived off of. It's not meant to be something that you get a job with and you can sustain yourself with. So I just want to address that. His claim on that is false. Also, they're claiming that the minimum wage can't pay for anything. But they seem to have this pipe dream that if it is raised, that people will magically just have the money. But it's not as simple as that. It's not as kind of as dry as that. According to the Congressional Budget Office, a study was done that said, as a group, the workers whose income rose because of the minimum wage increase would consequently pay more in taxes and receive less in benefits. The combination of increased taxes and decreased benefits equals, on average, about 1/3 of such a worker's added earnings. If you raise the minimum wage, it isn't just you just get more money. Benefits are lost, hours are cut, employees are fired, and just to address those points, another one is that low-income families will receive less help than high-income families. Another study from the Congressional Budget Office says that the increased earnings for low-wage workers resulting from higher minimum wage will total $31 billion. However, those earnings would not go only to low-income families because many low-wage workers are not members of low-income families. So just 19% would go to families with earnings below the poverty threshold. 29% would go to families above the poverty threshold. This is just simple logic because if you assume that low-wage workers are all people that need help, that can't afford these things, you're just false. It goes to people that are in the middle class and even high class. Also another fact is that he said that 20 states in Puerto Rico have are above the minimum wage of the federal, of $7.25. But according to the Department of Labor, 29 states, including the District of Columbia, have a minimum wage that is higher than the federal minimum wage. Another thing I'd like to address is that one of the issues that comes from raising the minimum wage is the issue of automated jobs. So I'm not trying to say that automated jobs are not happening right now. I do think they are. I do think it's a thing that is just inherent in the society and technology. But that's one more effect that the minimum wage would have. If you raise it, automated jobs will, without a doubt, become much more present in society because employers are not going to want to pay increased wages. It's as simple as that. Another thing I'd like to address is that a lot of people bring up the point that if you raise minimum wage, people will be fired. That is an issue, but the point I'm trying to make is that people will not be hired. Basically, future hiring will decrease. One study from the Express Employment Professionals says that if the minimum wage were raised to $10.10 an hour, the employers who currently pay employees minimum wage, 54% say they would reduce hiring. Okay. One other issue, just to bring home this point that he kept bringing up about people can sustain themselves with it. I make the claim that minimum wage increase doesn't properly even fix poverty. So once again, from the Congressional Budget Office, from the National Bureau of Economic Research, workers initially earning near the minimum wage are adversely affected by the minimum wage increases. Well, not surprisingly, higher wage workers are a little affected. Although wages of low wage workers increase their hours and employment, okay, let me just go back and stuff. Excuse me. Although wages of low-wage workers increase, their hours and employment decline, and the combined effects of those changes is a decline in earned income. So essentially, just the main point I'm making is that while I do agree that the minimum wage cannot be lived off of, that's not the intent of it. And even if it were to be raised, the many effects that it has counteract the effect that it's intending to have, and actually make it worse for low-income families.